All right, Arsenal 2, Fulham 1. Time to get into the player ratings. Raya in goal. I'm going to give him a 7. Unfortunate to give away that goal late on. That wasn't his fault. It took a big deflection, and he really couldn't save it. It was unfortunate. And I felt like, he didn't really have much to do, to be honest. So I'm going to give him a 7. Yuri and Timber, again, another 7. This guy puts in solid performances week in, week out. It's really good to see. He got injured. I don't know the extent of the injury. He went down early in the game, and then he went down later in the game and got substituted off for Trossard. So I don't know what the extent of his injury is. We're going to need him for Real Madrid. Obviously going up against Vinny, that's going to be huge. So, we'll see what happens with him. But I'm going to give him a 7 for his performance. Saliba, I'm going to give him a 7. He got in the right position for Fulham's goal. It was just unfortunate. It was just an unfortunate deflection. And then I thought overall his game was good. So I don't know. I felt like he played well. He was comfortable on the ball, good in defense, and another solid game from Saliba. Gabriel, I'm not really going to rate him. I'm going to give him a 5. I'll rate Kivior. I'm going to give Kivior a 6 because he made that defensive mistake. Saliba kind of slipped as well, but I think it was Kivior, if I remember correctly, who initiated that mistake. But I think overall he was okay. If he plays against Real Madrid, it's going to be peak because I'd rather have Ben White. I hope that Ben White is fit going into that Real Madrid game, and I'd rather see Ben White slide in at center back next to Saliba. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to give Kivior a 6. Miles Lewis-Skelly, I'm going to give him a 7. I thought, he didn't do anything spectacular, but he didn't need to. I thought defensively he was good. I thought going forward he was good. He's so comfortable on the ball. He slots into that midfield position when he tucks in from left back very well. He's naturally a number 8. That's what he played in the academy, and I think maybe that's a position for him to play going forward. I think when Calafiori comes back, I really do like Calafiori a lot. Maybe he can slot in there, but we'll see. Miles Lewis-Skelly overall I thought played well, so I'm going to give him a 7. Thomas Partey, 7. I mean, I'm giving out a lot of 7s today. It wasn't a blistering, sensational performance. It was a controlled performance. And I thought Thomas Partey controlled that midfield. I thought him and Declan Rice did a very good job of containing Fulham. Thomas Partey, 7, very good defensively, very good on the ball. Always looking to play a forward pass, which is what I like about Thomas Partey. Always looking to split the lines. He's not afraid to do that, and that's what I like to see from him. So he gets a 7. Declan Rice, I'm going to give Declan Rice an 8. I thought he was all over the place, making tackles, progressing the ball, controlled passing, controlled the tempo of the game. Very solid from Declan Rice. I'm going to give him an 8. Martin Odegaard gets a 5. Rubbish. Well, no, not rubbish. Rubbish is like 3. Very average. Very average. He's slipped in Timber through on goal. That was a very great weighted pass. But besides that, no no sparkling passes from Martin Odegaard. It was very underwhelming. A lot of his passes were weighted poorly or placed poorly. We've been seeing this far too often where his passing is just not as crisp as we need it to be, as it normally is. This season just not as crisp with his passing. So, he gets a 5 for today because it was so much of the same of what we've seen throughout the season. So, yeah, 5. I'm going to give Nwaneri, I'm going to give him a 6. I was teetering on giving him a 5 as well, but I'm going to give him a 6 because I thought he was better than Odegaard. I thought that, besides that strike that went right to Leno, he don't really do much in the game. There was a moment where he should have made a run in behind that he just didn't. He's naturally a number 10, but he's done well out wide. But, I thought, the reason why I'm giving him a 6 is because he didn't do anything great, but he was tidy on the ball, kept it ticking, kept it moving in possession. And I think he did okay. 6. Marino, I'm going to give Marino a 7 for that goal. Besides that, he didn't really do anything else. He dropped into midfield when Trossard came on. Trossard kind of went up top after Timber's injury. Marino dropped into midfield, and then Partey played right back. I do want to touch on Partey's right back performance. I thought it was assured. He's not a right back. I don't like it when I see him playing right back. But, I guess in a game like that, when the starting right back goes off with an injury, needs must. So, I don't know. But I'm going to give him I thought he did all right when he slotted into right back. But anyway, Marino, I thought he did a lot better when he was in midfield than when he was up front. Obviously, he's a natural midfielder. He's not a striker. But he did score a goal. And so for that, I'm going to give him a 7. Gabriel Martinelli is my man of the match. 9. Unbelievable. Assist for Saka's goal. Brilliant assist. Incredible. It was a cross from Marino that went to Martinelli. And then Martinelli just it was like a back heel flick that went right to Saka for the header. Very good from him. Very good. I'm going to give him a 9. The substitutes that came on, let's see. Trossard gets a standard 5. Didn't do much in the game at all. Didn't really have a lot of time either. I already rated Kivior. Saka. 7. He scored. He scored the winning goal. Very good. I'm so happy he's back from injury. We need him. We need him dearly. We need him badly. And, you could tell that we were missing so much without him. And then, with him, he picks up the right positions as a right winger pretty much all the time. And he was there to score a tap in with his head. So, I'm very proud of his performance. I'm going to give him a 7. I'm trying to think who else came on as a substitute. I think that was it. Trossard, Kivior, and Saka. Arteta, 7. 3 points. Should have been 2-0. I'd say should have been 2-0. Fulham had some opportunities. That Muniz header, if that goes in, we're talking about a 2-2 game. I don't know. But I felt like the team selection really picked itself. I'm glad he didn't just throw Saka back into the starting lineup. I'm glad he took him off the bench. I'm glad he's kind of easing him back into the squad. But I thought the team selection was good. I thought the tactics were good. The reason why he's not getting a higher rating, though, is we couldn't break Fulham down until we scored that first goal. That first goal was a lucky deflection, and to be honest, before that, we were not creating much at all. And this has been a theme this season. It's been a theme. Sideways, backwards passing, So, that needs to get fixed by the Real Madrid game. It probably won't, but, we'll see. So Arteta gets a 7. The referee, 7. I thought he was all right. I know, 7, 7, 7, 7. Everything's a fucking 7. I think the referee did all right. I think he let the game flow. I think he called fouls that where they needed to be called. I don't think there were any major decisions for him to make in the game. I felt like he was all right, 7. So that's it for the player ratings. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I'll catch you guys after Everton. Peace.